You're watching a Titan Medical Center production. Hey guys, so I got my package today from Titan Medical Center, and I got some new peptides in, or some new different things, new therapies that we're going to be releasing. So I want to talk about one with you guys today, SLUPP332 or SLUP332. So this estrogen receptor related antagonist. Yes, let me get this package here and pull it out. This nice Titan box here. All right, so this is going to actually mimic exercise as far as the metabolism goes. So thermogenesis is going to happen, which is going to be a great thing. The other great thing is it's going to improve mitochondrial activity. That's right, that's helping you throughout your whole body, your health. And with this, it can help in a lot of different ways. And one would be inflammation too as well, right? So getting rid of inflammation, mimicking your body to think that it's exercise as far as the metabolism goes, right? It's not gonna make you build muscle, but it's gonna help you burn fat, right? Fat oxidation. So I'm gonna start taking this, and I'm gonna let you guys know how it goes. We have patients on it right now, and they're loving SLUP332. So if you guys wanna know more information about it, call or text 727-389-3220, and I'll be coming back to you in a couple weeks to let you know my in-depth review about it personally.
Results speak for themselves.
So Jimmy is back, Titan Medical Center, official Team Titan, and you've gotten some therapies and you've kind of went through the process of what we do here. So what do you think, Jimmy? Because I mean, you know, you've been in this industry a long time. We were talking about it earlier. It's crazy.
You know, John, I question everything. Okay, I'm old school, right? If it's not old school, it's no good, right?
Of course.
So got my package. I did everything you told me, took everything like you told me. And that MK677.
Yeah.
Holy
yeah, dynamite, right?
I mean, took it in the morning. That night, I had eaten all my calories. And I'm like, nah, can't be. Okay. And then went to bed hungry.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a long time.
That's the worst.
But I didn't want to chance it, right? So the next morning I woke up, I went straight to the kitchen table, MK677, and ate my first meal. Hour and a half later, I'm calling Tam, I'm like, hey, we got food? And I'm like, there's no way. And then I'm like Googling it and just trying to find some information. I'm like, there's no way something so simple.
Right.
It's really simple.
No, it really is.
Right? That can work so fast. But I'm also a guy who questions stuff.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
So I'm saying, is this a placebo or not? Okay. It's been what, a week?
Yep.
My calories I'm up 1,500 calories.
Wow.
Okay.
It's a great increase.
I because of the food, my metabolism has increased. I've lost 3 inches on my waist.
Wow.
Because you know I'm getting ready for the show.
Of course.
Right? And I'm actually the same weight.
That's awesome.
And I'm saying to myself, I was actually gonna text you the other night and say, hey, can I take one in the morning and then one at night?
Technically, you probably could.
Can you?
Yeah, you probably could. You know, the thing with MK is awesome. It's a peptide, it's a GHRH peptide, growth hormone releasing hormone peptide.
Right.
So, you know, I was telling your wife, I was like, listen, you start increasing growth hormone levels, metabolism starts boosting, and the G-Relin, this is the only one out of the GHRH peptides where you truly get the stimulation of the G-Relin, the hunger hormone. And it's crazy. So it's something you can take for like 90 days. You will build up a sensitivity to it to that point, but you could take 25 in the morning and 25 at night, or split the dose, you know, so there's different ways you can do it. So if you really need that hunger aspect, maybe in one of those days or situations.
To me, and I think everybody who wants to build muscle, like I'm trying to be like if I was a spokesperson, which I am now, right? Because I'm actually living it. Whoever wants to gain muscle, they should be on MK677.
For sure.
Like there's no doubt. Like the guys who come to me now, it's like, hey man, I want to build muscle. MK677.
It's a good one. It's definitely a good one.
You know,
It's for those guys that need to eat, or girls. Like there's girls out there too that can't gain weight.
Whoever needs to build muscle.
Absolutely.
Because what builds muscle? Food.
Absolutely.
Right?
The only caveat that I ever tell anybody about MK, I'm like, because you're a totally different species, right? Where you're super committed to your meals and what you're gonna eat. Some people have no control or they don't have anything planned. And if they take MK and they're in their house and they got 3 kids and they got donuts and Hostess and Twinkie, they just start ramming it all down. And of course, what's that gonna do? It's gonna do the opposite effect. So,
like we left this morning, right, to come here. And it's an 1.5-hour drive. I ate all my meals.
That's awesome.
You just ordered more food.
I just ordered more food for us.
You know?
Bulk chicken, baby, it's coming.
Like,
we gotta eat.
We're pulling in the parking lot, and I'm like, "Do we have any food?" She's like, "No." like to me, it's always the food.
Yeah.
You know, I retired because I was eating so much.
Yeah.
And now coming into this phase, I was like, man, I wish I could eat what I used to eat. Right? How stupid, how crazy I am. Right. And now it's like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
So, holy.
Yeah, it's super cool.
And I'm not doing this because of the video, guys. No. This is like, I mean, whoever knows me knows me. Like, I don't talk.
No, I know.
And I'm like, this can't be true. And you know, Tammy's like, yeah, you know.
That's one thing. I like anybody I've ever talked to, even her or anybody else. MK is definitely on the plan if they're trying to gain muscle, they're trying to improve their strength, and they're raising growth hormone levels, which recovery, anti-aging, I mean, skin elasticity, everything goes along with that. So, I mean, it's a solid therapy. When we were talking about you doing masters, Olympia, I'm like, all right, well, what's maybe some of the speed bumps or what are the challenges we're trying to get through? I'm like, man, I can't get my couch on. I got exactly what you need. Like somebody tells me that, like especially if I know they're disciplined, I'm like, I know the game plan. We're gonna go this route first, start getting you going. So I'm super happy. You know, and of course, listen, this is all new age, you know, and we were talking earlier where back in the day when you or some of the greats competed, didn't have some of these tools. And now there's a new age where now we can start incorporating some of these new tools with those old school methods.
I have to be honest with you. Back then, to increase my appetite, on record, I took a little insulin.
Okay.
Took a drop to get hungry.
Yep.
And there's a chance there, right? You're risking something there, right?
Of course.
Right? But now, like,
be healthy, monitor, you know what you're getting. I mean, you know, that's a good thing. There's no experimenting.
And my name on it, and I can travel with it. You know?
That's the main thing.
I don't have to go to it's like I said, it's not like I bought it from anywhere else. I tried it somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I know it's out there. And when I started taking it, it was to me like, why doesn't everybody take this? Who wants to build muscle? Like anybody who's in the gym, to be honest with you, I don't know if there's an age limit, okay? Should be on MK677 because it's food. It helps you eat. If you don't eat, you don't grow.
Absolutely not.
That's it. You can take any steroid you want. You can train as hard as you want. You can sleep as long as you want, okay?
It's true.
If you're not eating, you're not growing.
It's true. It's so true. It really is.
So to me, that's more important than anything.
Yeah.
And I freaking found the solution.
You know, I honestly, so we have it through pharmacies, prescribed in the patient's names, right? We know what we're gonna give the patient, they know what they're gonna get. But there's a lot of places out there that are selling these things over the counter. And when I encounter people and I talk to them about it and they tell me, well, I never got any, like, I'm like, well, where'd you get it from?
Right.
And they tell me, I'm like, well, that's your reason why. I'm like, listen, I was like, most of these places online or research chemical sites, you're not getting what you're supposed to be getting. Right. You might get a small dose, you might get a little bit, but at that point, they're never gonna get it. What they're gonna get from us.
I have a client that is getting ready for a show, and he's been taking MK. He came from somebody else, and I said, hey, let me know what you're taking, what you're doing.
Yeah.
And now that I know how MK677, the MK, they call it MK, right?
Yeah, MK.
Okay.
Yep.
So I don't know, so I'm still saying the whole name.
It's all good.
Next week I'll probably just call it MK. And he says, I'm taking MK, and I said, how's your appetite? He goes,
That's like,
and I said, and I turned around and I said, here's a link.
I mean, it's super simple and easy.
Here's
to
a
do,
link,
too.
and that's why I asked you when I
Yeah.
I texted you. I said, hey, how can somebody come to you that might not need blood work,
Right.
or full hormone panel that can get peptides from you?
Right.
And you sent me the link. I sent them. I said the new patient form, and he said I filled it out, and I said, do what you got to do.
Right. You should be thanking you for
Yeah.
that for sure.
Yeah.
This is gonna get something good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, that's the other thing. With MK, there's no blood work that's needed. Somebody fills out the new patient paperwork, they see the medical provider,
Right.
whether it's here or on telemedicine nationwide. So it's super simple for somebody to do. So if they're interested, I mean, if they're looking for the benefits that you're getting from it, it's a home run.
Anybody who wants to build muscle should be taking the MK677.
I agree.
Period.
That's a good one.
Now, if you're getting fat on it, that means you're not eating the right food. Period. So there's a discipline side, right?
Of course.
The MK is going to give you the opportunity to eat.
Right.
You got to put that food to work.
Right.
That's it.
That's it. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And for the people that are, their self-control is there, it's a home run.
But then again, once you start seeing the results, right?
Yeah.
All of us. Once we see results, me included, you get more into
Motivated,
it, right?
of course.
You're motivated. You're like, okay, now I'm really gonna watch my diet. Now I'm
Right.
really gonna watch my diet.
Right.
Before, like last week, I was eating those little tater tots, okay, just to throw them in my
Yeah.
food, right?
Yeah.
And they were high fat, but they were high carbs, but I was still throwing them in, right? So now I'm cleaning up my diet because I see,
Yep.
right? And
Yep.
I'm taking those tater tots out and putting more oatmeal,
Yep.
just so I'm replacing those calories with even healthier food.
Right.
So
You're just dialing it even more.
yeah, man, I know it's only 2 weeks, but
Looks good.
how long can I stay on this?
So 90
Or
days.
anybody.
90 days is what you want to stay on MK the longest, because your body will start building up a tolerance, desensitization to the medication. So at that point, like what we do is we move from MK, and then we move into another GHRH, which might be an injectable, it might be hexarelin, it might be CJC, or it could even be IGF-1. right?
Okay.
But that would require blood work for IGF-1. But the other ones do not. So we can move in that route. There's a couple other different ways, like hexarelin is another good muscle building one, right? So when you do that, you can go on hexarelin or CJC, whatever it is, for let's say a month. 30 days, you can go back on MK.
So basically, you take two of the peptides and just cycle them.
That's it. That's it. And some of those other peptides, you don't ever have to cycle.
Right.
Like hexarelin and all that,
Yeah.
that continuously hits the pulse, hits the pituitary.
So why did you give me the MK and you didn't give me the other one?
Because the other ones don't stimulate the G-relin, the hunger hormone, like MK.
Okay.
MK is the only one that stimulates the hunger like that.
Got it.
They're all supposed to stimulate G-relin.
It sure
They
do.
are. The only other compounds that I've ever seen work just like that are injectable are not around anymore for us to get. It was GHRP2 and GHRP6.
Mhm.
And they used to mix that with semarelin, which we still have. And at that point, those would work synergistically together, but you would get ravishly, just like MK. I remember taking my first shot of GHRP2 and 6, and man, just like MK, I was like, oh my God, like I've never had any feeling like that ever. I've never been that hungry in my life. That's why, I take all these different therapies before anybody else does, because I want to get my spin on it.
Of course.
What's my experience? So I could talk to you and say, hey, listen, this is what I experienced. Not just, this is what the literature says, right? So when I took it, I was like, oh my God, I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah.
It is insane. And then I would do little test runs. I'm like, all right, cool. I took this in the morning. Great. I was like, let me go and eat all day, and then let me take it. And let me see if it still has that boom effect, or I need to eat again. And it definitely did. That's what I was saying. Like I tell people, I'm like, I don't care if you go to a Chinese buffet and you get 2 or 3 plates, and you take MK 15, 20 minutes later, you're probably gonna want to go up and get
That's
another 2
exactly what's
plates,
happening here.
So
That's exactly what's happening.
I mean, that's it's really insane. It's awesome. And like I said, not just stimulating hunger and getting the calories in, but you're talking about IGF-1 going up. Everything moves with that. Everything. So, there's
It's amazing.
yeah, it's just one tool in the tool belt.
Yeah.
And we got many tools to go through.
I never would have thought. I never would have thought.
I'm super happy.
And it's because I trust you,
Yeah, of
right?
course,
It's when I
of
came in,
course.
I'm like, hey, give me some direction. And you're like, take this. I'm like, okay.
I promise you I'll never steer you.
You got me. I'm sold.
I promise you.
I'm sold. You give me in a paper bag, I'm taking it.
But yeah, so, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming down here and stuff like that. At that point, we're going to go get some more content. Let's wrap it up. Become tight and strong. Call or text 727-389-3220.
Titan Medical Center. There is no other alternative.
What's up, guys? I'm John.
I'm Charisse.
And we're back with another Cupid's Corner, bringing all kinds of good tips, tricks, and things that are going to help your relationship go to the next level. And if you're not in a relationship, you can, take some of these tips and tricks, keep them to the side, so when you do find that right person, then you can utilize these tips and tricks to make your relationship the best possible one you can.
Yes.
So this week, it's a little personal, but at that point, I want to share these tips with you. So vacations.
Right.
Vacations, everybody should take one once in a while anyway, right? There's never a really right time, but, try to plan for a good time to do it.
The summer.
Yeah. So with Charisse and her just turning 35.
He's totally lying. I'm really just 25.
There you go, 25. Yeah, that's 25. Better for me too.
Yeah.
So. But, so for her birthday, we usually go out and we usually do a little vacation, a little trip anyway, right? Whether it's a couple days or whatever it is. We'll take what we can get, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, we want to go somewhere so we can go relax, revitalize, rejuvenate, kind of recharge the battery so we can come back fresh. And obviously, Charisse wanted a little bit of time alone. She always likes to do that for her birthday.
Well, yeah. I'm not the one that likes, he likes to have the big shebang with everybody around. Me personally, I like to be alone with maybe if I am going to have a couple people around, we're talking a max of 10. I don't want any more than 10 people, and just everyone kind of just leave me alone for my birthday. I've always kind of been that way. But, I figured it was a good way to just, we had all of our best friends under one roof, which was very, very, very cool.
Most of them.
Most of them,
Yeah,
almost.
we're missing
almost.
a couple.
We're missing a couple stragglers. Always, every time. And then, obviously, me and him have some, a little alone time, which is nice. Because we're always working, we're always working, and then we're not working, we go home, and then Peter's at home, and then obviously have dinner with Peter, do this with that, get up the next day, do it all over again, and just kind of just the cycle of just you just forget to stop for a moment and enjoy each other.
Exactly.
And enjoy the moment.
Yep.
We went to Cabo, and it was so nice. I really, really needed it.
Yeah.
I actually, was the first time in 9 years that I didn't open my laptop for 2 days. And I know 2 days seems like that's not really that much, but in my world, 2 days is probably about 2 weeks in your world. Yeah. So it was a long time, and it took everything out of me not to open the laptop. I'm like, I need to do it. But, it was nice to just kind of, decompress and disconnect for a little bit. I think it's important for mental health, emotional health. You need it. I really do think you need it.
And I think the big point to this, because obviously we're talking about Cupid's Corner and relationships. So I think relationships will really benefit from this, because it's time that you guys should be taking away for each other, right? And you guys spend as much time as possible together and have fun. Mm-hmm. You guys are making good memories. There should be no negative information, influences, nothing around you that's going to disturb your time.
Right. You
guys are spending time and quality time together, right? So if you guys are on vacation, try to disconnect from the phone. Mm-hmm. Try to disconnect from the computer, right? We all know everybody has to work. We know better than anybody else, okay? And, whether it's in the office or social media or whatever we're doing, we have to do it. But, you want to take that time away and really just get away. And that can reignite relationships, too. So let's say you guys' relationship isn't that good, or things just aren't clicking the way they used to be.
Yeah.
You guys might need that, alone time to really grow together again, Make sure those roots aren't broken. Put them back together, right? Spend that time in the bedroom.
Yep.
Nobody's there. It's just
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
So if you guys have family, you guys know what that's all about. Even if you have dogs and stuff like that.
The dogs aren't that bad because you can kick them off the bed, right? Because I do that often, you know. But, you know, if you got, you know, the kids are outside playing with the dog by the door and, you know, maybe there's like, you know, your family member, John's daddy lives with us. I bless his heart for doing all the laundry for Peter. Thank you. It's one less thing for me to do. But, you know, the laundry thingy is right outside our door. So, you know, it's you gotta it just kind of disturbs things a little bit. So to get away and, you know, we had the whole floor to ourselves, which was super awesome. All I wanted to do, and not for any specific reason, I just wanted to scream just because I felt like I had the whole floor to myself and I could just scream as loud as I want. Nobody would ever tell me no and stop or anything because we're on this huge, you know, we had this huge house that had like 6 floors and we went on this house with all our friends. So it was a lot of fun. You know, one tip I can give you guys that on this trip thing, right? So let's just say you do decide to go with a group of friends, right? And we're talking about the relationship thing. So obviously you have to be able to allocate the different time frames for, like, you know, this is going to be our time, you know, whether it's in the bedroom or we're going to cuddle and snuggle and watch a movie or whatever it might be. And then we'll have this time for our friends or for your friends. It's not like, you know, he had his best friend out there. So the last thing I'd want is, you know, okay, him and his best friend are playing pool until 4 o'clock in the morning because there was a pool table there, and he loves playing pool. But, you know, until 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting there staring at them. That'd be terrible, right? So it's, you know, you got to use some of your common sense, you know, when it comes to things like this, and kind of have a happy balance, or just go by yourself.
Go by yourself.
Go by yourself.
That really is the key because you don't have to worry about entertaining people.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about a schedule. I mean, that's kind of where it is. Now, some people are different. They go on vacation. They have a very structured thing. They want to see all these different things, you know, sightsee, this, that, whatever. That's fine if that's what you guys like to do. But listen, if you guys are going on vacation and that's not really a big thing to you guys, don't have a schedule.
Yeah.
Sleep in, enjoy, revitalize, recharge the batteries.
Because then you're always like, you know, then you're like, oh, we got to get here. Hurry.
I mean, trust me, we have enough that day to day.
Yeah.
You know, our little inside, you know, joke to me and Sharice every day. Rush. Because literally, it's rush. Everything we're doing, rush.
Every day.
Go.
Rush.
So this is time for you guys to, you know, take it back a notch and not rush.
It was just like, rush. It was still, you know, I still felt it, but it wasn't like rush all day, like this, like the Tasmanian devil.
Yep, just spinning all day, just spinning. You don't want to do that. You know, the best thing is your mantra should be enjoy.
Yes.
Enjoy the place you're at. Enjoy the company you're with, right? Mm-hmm. Enjoy the food or entertainment that's around you. That's another big thing. When you go on vacation, you know, you don't have to eat garbage. You don't have to eat like crap. Now, listen, if you want to splurge a little bit, that's cool. That's fine. But, you know, don't get off track of what you're doing daily, your routine. I mean, some people, you know, they want to work out on vacation. Some people like, I want to take a break. That's cool too. Just, you know, whatever, you know, floats your boat.
Exactly.
You know, whatever you feel comfortable with and that you want to do. What makes you happy? Right? Because you're breaking away from work or whatever it is. You're with your partner. What's going to make you guys happy?
You guys, too. You know,
not just one or the other.
Or the other. You know, like, I'm going to just do this and, you know, you could do this. The whole point is for you guys to get away together.
Right.
You know, maybe couples massages. That's a good one. Maybe a bath together if you got a big enough bathtub. That's a good one. Maybe a shower together. Because, I mean, who takes a shower anymore? Me and John can barely fit in our own shower together. If I'm in there, I'm like this for like, you know, like, okay, we're done. I've had a minute of this. I'm cold. I don't have any of the water. We had this shower there, and this shower was so cool. I've never, like...
The shower was amazing.
Listen, the whole bathroom was awesome. And, you know, the little things in life that, like, makes me be like, woohoo, you know? I'm all excited about these things. But it had the shower heads, and there was, like, 6 shower heads on each side.
Yep.
And I'm like, and one big one at the top.
One rain shower on one side, and then another one that was larger.
So either way you look at it, right, we were able to take a shower together, and no one was cold.
Yeah.
I still had water on me at some point in time, and I wasn't freezing to death. Like, you know? So, yeah, exactly. We didn't have hot water the first night. That was fun. But, yeah, outside of that, you know, it was nice. But that's just, you know, a couple little things that you can do, you know, together that it's you guys can connect like that. You know,
Go enjoy, lay by the pool, together to talk about things like, just break things down, man. Joke around. I mean, smiles and joking around. Making new memories. That's another big one. Like, you obviously have your phone with you. Most people have phones. And 50% of those people have iPhones. So I know the camera on those things are awesome because I have them, right? So take some pictures. That's another good thing you guys can do. Do a time lapse. Make memories.
John did a good time lapse. It was good.
Yeah. Well, I did like two of them.
Yeah,
I
they're
know,
pretty good.
Another person did another one, so it was really, really cool. Now, with doing like all of that, it kind of takes your focus away from what you really should be doing. Because I'm worried about getting shots. I'm worried about getting content and stuff like that.
I remind him. Don't worry. I remind him.
Later on, you're going to be able to look back at that. Like, oh my God, this was awesome. I'm so glad I got this. Or, you have those memories. And those memories take you back, right? And then they make you happy. You think about the good times and what was going on there.
And then
all that good stuff.
at that point, when you do look at that, right, you can really visualize and plan, I'm looking forward to the next time we get to do this, you know? Yeah. And it gives you something to look forward to, like, I can't wait to do this again and, really enjoy my time with you. So it's nice.
Goals, okay? Goals.
Couple goals.
That's right, couple goals.
That's us.
Achieving those goals. And always progressing on those goals, right? You always want to make things better. So that's what it's about, and some people out there, they take things for granted. We were talking about this the other night, people start dating or after they're married and so long, then things just they become routine, right? And you don't ever want that to happen. Don't let that happen. And always be grateful for what you have because it can be gone in a second. So at that point, live your life, have good times, and vacation. Okay? It doesn't need to be some crazy.
You guys don't have to go
vacation.
to Cabo. Literally, you can literally book a hotel down the street.
That's right.
At some whatever place.
That's right.
And you could, it could be a minimal amount of money.
Yep.
And you just go by yourselves with just you and your significant other.
Day vacation, weekend vacation.
It's the little things. Tonight I'm very excited. And the reason why I'm so excited is because movies are back, right? And me and John do movie night, and we have for years, right? Then COVID hit, movie shut down, and I lost my night with John. Like we didn't get a night anymore. Like sometimes I'd be like, let's go to dinner. I miss my movie night with you, but still not like movie night, right? Because even at dinner, he might pull out his phone real quick. I'm like, we're at dinner, okay? And he's like, oh, yeah. In the movie, he's forced to put the phone away. You have to put it away and just enjoy that like little warm feeling, in the seats. And then, I buy an extra seat for my purse because I just don't want anybody sitting next to me, to be quite honest with you. But, it's worth the $6, trust me. Yeah. That's my child. Yeah, so, sure. But I'm excited. It's little things like that you guys can do together that make a big difference in your relationship and that you guys can apply. And trust me, it makes a world of a difference. And Absolutely. It could be the small little things.
Absolutely. So that wraps it up for another Cupid's Corner. Yay! Every Sunday, 11 a.m. ABC. And if you didn't DVR it or you missed it, make sure you check out YouTube, Titan Medical Center, type that bad boy in. You'll see all the shows and a lot of other cool content. Plus, check us out on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So I'm John.
I'm Cherise.
And we'll see you next week with another Cupid's Corner.
See ya.